What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Syndicate, and today we're back to talk about Warhammer 40K. In this one, we have quite a bit to go over, because we've got new revelations for the Arcs of Omen story, as well as new reveals for some pretty interesting characters. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive right in. But first, I want to remind you, as always, if you guys want to read or find out the stuff for yourself, link will be in the description so you guys can check out all the reveals from WarhammerWorld that happened today. So let's begin. So it says that the Arcs of Omen narrative continues. The Xenos are now getting in on the action, because recently it was pretty much all the Imperium versus Chaos. We've had Vastor the Archifane, Abaddon, and Angron taking on some Inquisitors, Grey Knights, Custodes, Sisters of Silence, and whatnot. So it's pretty interesting to see the narrative switch sides and talk about the Xenos. And who do we have to talk about? None other than the Tau's Farsight. While Vastor causes chaos at the Rock, and Angron smashes Indomitus Fleet Quartus, the Tau Renegade Commander Farsight fights his own personal war against Boss Nazdrag and his Bad Moons. So we know that the first book of the Arcs of Omen was titled Abaddon, the second one was Angron, the third will be titled Vastor, and that's a pretty big one. It's going to talk about what is happening on the Rock. So yes, Vastor is going to the one place where we know that another Primarch is sleeping away, Lionel Johnson. So does this pretty much all but confirm the return of the Lion? I think so. So that's going to be a huge book in and of itself. And then we come, kind of down from that big Primarch narrative to Farsight fighting against some orcs. Now Farsight is not the Farsight we know. He has gotten an upgrade to his battlesuit. Puretide's protege is now piloting a bleeding-edge XV-86 Supernova battlesuit, designed specifically to suit his needs by none other than Ovesa, the Earth-cast scientist who fights by his side as one of the 8, Farsight's hand-picked crew of companions. Though similar to the XV-8 Crisis suit, this hot rod sports greatly enhanced command and control suites, all guided by fancy AI, dubbed the Supernova. So here we can see the awesomeness, the beauty that is the sculpt of Farsight's new battlesuit. It looks really amazing. I really love the dynamic posing, the stance. It seems like there's more flexibility to his model. It also looks to be a little bit bigger in scale. I don't know if you guys got the previous Farsight battlesuit, but I believe it was resin, and comparing it to like comparing it to like the other battlesuits, it is a little bit more smaller, which I guess meant it was more maneuverable. But now we can see that he's got more bulk to it, more defense. He still has the same weapons and upgrades as previous. He's got the Dawn Blade, the shield generator, and the plasma rifle. But now he looks to be doing a more dynamic pose. Even the battlesuit's helmet seems to be slightly different than before. Continuing on, the article states that these upgrades come just in time for his greatest challenge yet. For in Arcs of Omen, Farsight, the infamous Bad Moon's warlord, Nazdrag, master of teleporta tactics, has taken up the reins of the War of Daka, a never-ending conflict fueled by the orcs' desire to beat Farsight at his own game. So that's pretty much what this whole narrative will be, a battle between Farsight and the orcs, which isn't anything new. We've seen this time and time again. The Farsight Enclave's area of space is really like being besieged by orcs ever since its inception, so there's no surprise there. However, it wouldn't be an Arcs of Omen book if there weren't any Arcs of Omen being included in there. So going back to the narrative, it states that strange visions drew Oshova back to the ominous world of Arthas Moloch. Arthas Moloch is the dead world where Farsight, basically, it was his origins to being away from the Tau Empire. He's a renegade. On Arthas Moloch, he was basically attacked by chaos demons. His ethereals were all beheaded, and this is where he found his blade, the Dawn Sword, the Dawn Blade. So he goes back to this world, and just as he seems to be ready to vanquish all the orcs in this sector once and for all, disaster strikes, and we get an arc or two showing up. And that's pretty much all we get. Not really much surprise here. We know that the enclaves in Farsight have been fighting orcs for this long time. Pretty much we just know that Farsight returns to Arthas Moloch and we get some Arcs of Omen stuff showing up, and that's it. So no real grand, revelation or anything, but we do see a really badass sculpt. They do say that if you're interested in boarding actions and stuff like that, they do have new enhancements and stratagems for the Tau, the Asuriani, the Inari, the Trukari, the Harlequins, and the Adepta Sororitas. So if you guys play any of those Eldar or Sisters of Battle army, this is probably the book you need to get so you can, get all the rules and whatnot. And not just that, but there's also a boarding patrol box set. No surprise there. It's got Farsight, a squad of 10 Fire Warriors, and 3 battle suits. So if you're starting the Tau Empire, this is a pretty awesome way to start. You need troops, you need the awesome XV8s, and of course you got the new sculpt for Farsight. So yeah, pretty awesome box set there. And then we go to another awesome revelation that I didn't really think needed to be revealed, but nonetheless we have it, and it is a new model for the orcs. So here we have the Green Ghost, Snikrot. This guy is all about being sneaky. He's got some awesome huge daggers, and that's pretty much it. There's no new lore here. We do see they have a boarding patrol box set that has Flash Gits, Beast Snagaboys, Commandos, some Squigs thrown in there, and of course Snikrot. So I didn't think this model needed a new sculpt. The old model was pretty cool, but I mean, here it is. You gotta include the orcs somehow into the Arcs of Omen boarding patrol stuff. So yeah, I mean, Beast Snagaboys are the new cool orcs, a little bit stronger prime orcs, as some people would say, Primaris orcs. But yeah, all in all, some pretty awesome reveals. We do get to see the Arcs of Omen stuff, expanded, and we get to see the cover for the Xenos portion of the book. So this isn't as crazy as the Revelation or the previous book, Vastor, where we're going to get some awesome confrontations between the Dark Angels and Vastor and his Chaos minions and whatnot. And hopefully we see some inklings of the Lion waking up. Because I don't think the Lion will come out in the Vastor book. It'll probably come out in the final book, or probably officially will be in 10th edition. So we're close. I feel it. But yeah, that's all I got for today, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Again, links are down in the description, so you guys can check out all the news for yourself. And if you guys want to support us, Patreon is a really good way. You can support us via super thanks, or just liking, commenting, sharing the video. As always, it's been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Oh, I